Hey everybody, this is Crystal. So today I'm going to show you how to make this cowl here. Now it looks kind of funny when you set it out like this, but I'll show you how you wear it. So it's laid out like this. It's a big piece. It's really easy. It's simply half double crochet made in the round. So there's no slip stitching or anything like that. It's just round and round and round of half double crochet. Now it's about 20 inches. 21 inches long. You can make it shorter if you want, but I used a very pretty gradient yarn. So what you do is here, take it in the back. It's kind of crunched up in the back, and then your front here kind of folds up just a little bit around the neck. You see in the picture, I kind of just folded mine in little ripples down the front of me like that, and that's how you wear it. Big cowl in the front. I could have worked with it more, probably. It made it look a little bit better, but than the picture. But it was cold. And now that how you see me wearing is actually the rest of this yarn. Same. It's just the bottom portion of it. You see where it ended here. I made this on my knitting machine just to get a hat made quickly. It's a double layer hat. I do have a crochet tutorial though that I will link up in the down in the comments if I don't forget, of a hat made with this, matched this exactly. I was just running out of time and I wanted to make a matching hat, so I used this on my knitting machine. If you have a knitting machine, I have a tutorial how to make this double layer. Simple. I mean, if you don't know how to use it, but it's pretty easy to make those. That's about the only hat I know how to make on my knitting machine. but yes, I do have a tutorial for a straight double hat that will match this cowl. Remember, I know it looks really long and kind of funny, but remember this goes around the back side like that, and then this drapes over your front, and you can kind of mess with it to get it how it's supposed to be. But it's super easy, great for a beginner. As far as half double crochets, you will not have to do some increasing to make it larger, but it's not really that hard. Let's go ahead and get started on it. Okay, so the yarn I used is called Yarn Art Flowers in Merino. I got this online from a store called Belrita. I will, if I remember, I'll put a link below to where I got it online. It was the only place I've ever seen this before. What these are you probably have seen these small weight cakes. They're like a 2-weight. People make shawls and stuff out of them. It's what this is, but it's like a 4-weight. It's very pretty. It's very pretty gradient. This isn't the color I used. I used one that went from yellow to a rust to a brown. But anyways, it's a wool acrylic blend, and there's 645 yards. I used all of mine, and that was including the hat. Now, if you want to make the hat, I would say probably, if you're going to crochet the hat, 450 yards to crochet the hat, and probably, 150 yards to crochet the hat pattern that I have. Just something like that. And then I would say probably 450 yards for the cowl. That's just a guess. But I did, like I said, this was double layer knitted. So, anyways, this is classified as a 3-weight on a label. I don't consider it a 3-weight. I do consider it a 4-weight. So if you do have this, this would be a great project to use it for. If you don't have this, I would recommend any 4-weight yarn would work besides this. As you can see, it's definitely not a 3-weight. So remember, you don't have to use this. Any 4-weight yarn will work. And then I'm going to be using a size H, which is a 5mm crochet hook. If you happen to see me in the video with 2 different color hooks, those are both 5mm crochet hooks. I was just in the middle of making it, and I took a break and I lost a hook I was using, so I had to start with a different one, and then I found it later. So the hooks are all 5mm no matter what color they are in the video. Alright, let's go ahead and do this. Okay, so we are going to start off with a chain of 80, and we're going to be slip stitching in our first stitch to form one large ring. So we're working from the top down. So what you want to do is follow it down, don't twist your chain up, and we'll go ahead and slip stitch into our first stitch to form a ring. Okay, right here is our first stitch. Go ahead and go into it. Excuse me, like that. And a slip stitch. Now we are going to chain one. Now that chain one does not count as a stitch. It doesn't count as anything. Now we're going to be working half double crochets. So we're going to do a half double crochet right back into the same place that we just slip stitched into. And we're going to work a half double crochet in every stitch all the way around until we get back to our starting point. Just like this. So one half double crochet in every stitch all the way around until you make it back here to the beginning. Okay, so I have made it to the end of round one, and like I said, this is a very easy pattern. So when you make it back around here to your starting point, you should have a total of 80 half double crochets, because that's the chain that we started with, was 80. So now you want a stitch marker, because we're going to be working in continual rounds. And when I say working in continual rounds, I mean that we will not be ending with a slip stitch. We're just going to continue around and around and around and keeping track with a stitch marker. I'm just going to use this piece of yarn. So I'm going to stick it right here. That way I know where my ending spot is and my beginning spot. Okay, so I got my 80 stitches at the end of round one. Okay, now I'm going to start round two, and round two is going to be the repeat round until we finish out 20 rounds. So all we're going to do is we are going to jump to our first half double crochet. Now remember, we're not going into this chain one here. We're going into the half double. So we're just going to half double crochet into that first half double. Nice, just like that. And then we're going to work around, and we're going to put a half double crochet in every stitch all the way around until we get back to our stitch marker. So we're working rounds of half double crochet. So I will continue putting one half double in every stitch until I make it back to my stitch marker, and I'll meet back up with you there. Like that. All right, I have made it to the end of round two. So now it's just a repeat of round two. So I have 80 stitches still. We're going to continue to have 80 stitches at the end of every round. But remember, we're working in continual rounds, so we're not going to be slip stitching. I'm going to pull my stitch marker up and move it up like this. And then I'm going to start round three again. And I'm going to start by putting a half double crochet into the first stitch. And then half double crocheting, one half double in every stitch until I make it back to the beginning. And when I make it back to the beginning, I'll have 80 stitches. I'll move my stitch marker up and I'll go again. And I will continue doing rounds of one half double crochet in every stitch, like I said, until I get 20 rounds finished. I am on round 3 right now. You'll always have 80 stitches. So I'm going to keep going, and I'll meet back up with you whenever I've finished out 20 rounds. Okay, I have finished out my 20 rounds of half double crochet. This is the 20th round and I'm at my stitch marker. And I still have 80 stitches. Now we're going to start doing some rounds of increasing. So every round will be increasing by 2 stitches. So what we're going to go ahead and do to start off is move our marker up. So we're on round 21 and we're okay. So we're going to start off by putting 1/2 double crochet into the next 39 stitches. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, I have done 39 half double crochets, and now in the next one, which is our 40th stitch, we're going to put 2 half double crochets into that same stitch. So that will be our increase stitch. So there's 1 and there's 2. Now again, I'm going to put 1 half double crochet in every stitch until I get to my last stitch before the stitch marker. Alright, I come to my last stitch before the stitch marker, and I'm going to go ahead and put an increase stitch here. I'm going to put 2 half doubles into that last stitch, and now you'll have 2 more stitches than you did the previous round. So we were working with 80 stitches, now we're going to have 82 at the end of round 21. So we're going to kind of repeat this, but we're going to pull our stitch marker up, and we're going to start round 22. Now this time we want to do 40 half double crochets, and then we'll do our increase. So we start off counting and we do 40. Last time we did 39. Now we're going to do 40 in a row. Alright, I've done 40 half double crochets in a row, and now in my next stitch, my 41st stitch, I'm going to go ahead and put 2 half doubles into the same stitch. Like that. Now I'm going to continue, and I'm going to put 1 half double crochet in every stitch until I get to my last stitch. Just like we did on the prior row, or the previous row. Alright, I'm coming to the end of round 22, and I'm at my last stitch here. I want to go ahead and put 2 half double crochets into my last stitch, just like we did before. And now you'll have 2 more stitches than you did the previous round. So now we're going to have 84 stitches this time. And this is what we're going to kind of repeat. So round 23, we'll move our stitch marker up. Last time we did 40 half double crochets, and then we did 2 half double crochets in the next stitch. Now this round we're going to do 41 half double crochets in a row, and then we will do our increase into the next. So I'm going to go ahead and work 41. Alright, I did my 41 half double crochets, and in the next stitch I'm going to put my increase. So I'm going to put 2 half doubles into the same stitch, like that. And then again I'm going to put 1 half double in every stitch until I make it to my last stitch, just like we did before. Alright, I've made it to my last stitch before the stitch marker, and I'm going to go ahead and put 2 half double crochets into that last stitch, and that'll end round 23. And now I'll have 2 more stitches than I did the previous round, so I should have a total of 86. So this is the manner that we're going to increase our cowl. So I'm going to stop here for a minute and turn it around. So what it's going to do is it's going to start gradually increasing it. The size will just kind of get gradually a little bit larger, very slowly. And there are 2 points that you can see that we increase at. It will have that slight dip, but don't worry about that. We'll take care of that later towards the end. So we're going to continue in this same manner. So we're on round 24 now. So what we're going to do is move our stitch marker up. So now we are going to work 1/2 double crochet into the next 42 stitches. And then in the 43rd, we will put 2 1/2 double crochets into that same stitch. And then we will work 1/2 double crochet in every stitch, and then we'll work 2 1/2 double crochets into the last, and we'll have 2 more stitches in the previous round. And the next row we'll work 1/2 double crochet into the next 44 stitches, and then we will put 2 1/2 doubles into the next stitch, and then we will put 1/2 double in every stitch around to the end, and put 2 1/2 doubles into the last stitch, and we'll have 2 more stitches than we did before. So that's the manner that we're going to continue increasing, 2 stitches every round. If you want to know though really where your stitches need to go, when you get back to your stitch marker, you just continue putting a 1/2 double crochet until you get to where you decrease or increased before, right here, and you will put 2 1/2 double crochets into the stitch that you increased before. So right here you can see we put 2 1/2 double crochets into that stitch. This is where our next increase will go. As you can see, the row before, there was 2 here, that's where the increase went. There were 2 there, that's the stitch that the increase went in. So you know, you can tell if you lose count. Just know that the increase goes right here. You put 2 1/2 doubles, it goes into the last 1/2 double of the increase. 2 1/2 doubles go there. I hope that was not confusing. And then you do the one all the way around, and you always end with 2 1/2 doubles into the last stitch. And then you'll start seeing it gradually getting a little bit bigger. And like I said, don't worry about it if it starts to point out in them 2 spots. We'll take care of that in a little bit. Alright, so I'll show you where I have stopped now. I have done a total from row 1 all the way up 31 rows, and we should have 102 stitches now. So now we're doing 2 increases, and now we're going to start doing 3 increases, kind of the same way that we did 2, but now we're going to do 3. So now we're going to work a 1/2 double crochet into the next 33 stitches. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright, so I did my 1/2 double crochet in 33 stitches. So the next one, the 34th stitch, I'm going to put 2 1/2 double crochets into that same stitch. That's our increase. That's one of our increases. Now again, I'm going to put 1 1/2 double crochet into the next 33 stitches. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, again, I did 33 stitches in a row, and now my next one, my 34th stitch, I'm going to do 2 1/2 double crochets into that same stitch. So that's my second increase. Now one more time, we're going to do 1 1/2 double crochet into the next 33 stitches again. 1, 2, 3, 4, Okay, so I did my 33 in a row, and then I'm at the end here. I have one stitch left, which would be like 34 stitches there. Go ahead, and your last stitch will get 2 half double crochets into it, and that will finish out row around 32. And now we did 3 increases, so we're gonna have, we had 102 on row 31, and now we're gonna have 105 on row 32. So now we're gonna kind of increase in the same manner that we did before, only now we're doing 3 increases instead of 2. So for row 33, we'll go ahead and pull our stitch marker out. So on the previous row, we did 33 stitches in a row, and then we did 2 double crochets in the next. Now we're going to do 34 stitches in a row, and then we'll do 2 double crochets in the next. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so I did my 34 in a row, and now I'm going to put 2 half double crochets in the next one, which is my 35th stitch. And if you look on the previous round, it's the 2 where we increased before, so it always goes, 2 always goes into that next one. So 2 half doubles, and then again we will do 1 half double crochet into the next 34 stitches. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, I've done my 34 in a row again. So the next one, the 35th one, you can see right here that on the previous row we put 2 half double crochets there. Your increase always goes into that second one. So 2 half double crochets into that stitch, and then one more time, since we're doing 3 increases now, we'll do 1 half double into the next 34, and then your last stitch should get 2 half double crochets into it. That would be the 35th one. So for round 34, we are going to do 1 half double crochet into the first, or into the next 35 stitches. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4. And we do that, and then when we get to our increase, like I said, it'll always be, you'll be able to tell because it'll be the increase from the previous row. We put 2 double crochets. Then we do it again, 35 again, until we get to our next increase, and then we put 2 double crochets, and then again, and we always end with 2 double crochets into the last stitch. And you always have 3 more stitches in the next round. And then the round after that, we'll do 35, or 1 half double crochet in the next 36 stitches 3 times. And you know what I mean? 3 times, and it'll be increasing into the next after the 36. And we'll continue that pattern like we've been doing the whole time, like just like we did when we were doing with 2, only now we're just doing it with 3. And our cowl will get a little bit wider each time around. You always have 3 more stitches at the end of every round. Okay, so I have done a total now of 45 rounds, and that is starting from round 1. I know it looks kind of odd, kind of like a dress or something, I guess, a mini one. But anyways, let me give you a quick measurement. From the top down to the bottom that's not at a point. Here's, well, at my starting point there, where at my stitch marker is 20 inches. So 19.5, 20 inches is about what it's at. Like I said, it's a big drapey cowl. So now what I'm going to do is, you probably notice that there's So you can see the 3 points that we put in it, that we've been increasing at. We're going to get rid of those. So all we're going to do is do a couple rounds of just 1/2 double crochet in every stitch. So I went ahead and moved my stitch marker up. And now I'm going to do 2 rounds of working 1/2 double crochet in every stitch. I'm not going to be increasing anymore. So this will get rid of those little points that you see. So 1/2 double every stitch, no more increasing at all. Just 2 rounds. And then we'll be finished. So I'm going to continue around 1/2 double in every stitch until I get back to my stitch marker. When I get back to my stitch marker, I will just move it up and go around one more time with a row of 1/2 double crochet. And I'll meet back up with you when I get my 2 rounds finished of 1/2 double in every stitch. Alright, I have done my 2 rounds of just 1/2 double crochet in every stitch. And I made it back here to my stitch marker. I'm going to go ahead and end by slip stitching into that stitch and then tying off. I'm going to take that stitch marker out. We don't need it anymore. And remember, by all means, you can make this smaller. I mean, you don't have to make it such a dramatic piece if you don't want it as long as mine. I thought it looked pretty cool. I just thought, you know, I'm going to make a cowl. And I'm just going to go all out and make it kind of like big, long statement piece, I guess. So you're going to go ahead and hide your tail in. Usually, though, I don't show how I hide my tails too often, but people wonder. I kind of just go weave in and out like that on the inside of my work a couple times, and then I'll go back the opposite direction. That way it usually locks it into place. Sometimes I'll go back again, just till I feel like it's good enough. Not gonna come undone. I think that will probably do the trick. Clip. Okay, now I'm gonna work up here at the top. It does look like a little dress, but that's not what it's meant for. Okay, so I'm coming up here to the top. This is where I started. Okay, so I'm actually just going to go around the top edge with a round of single crochet to clean up that edge. So I'm going to take a piece of my yarn, a darker contrasting color here, but that's on the same cake. And I'm going to start in the back here of my work. Here you can see, here's where I started. So just somewhere along here, I'm going to go into a stitch and draw up a loop and chain 1. And now I'm going to go back into that same stitch and single crochet. And I'm going to try to hide these tails as I go by working 1 single crochet in every stitch all the way around the top. This will just clean up that top edge, add a little bit of a contrast color at the top. Of course, you can choose to use the same color if you want. To your cowl, you make it whatever colors you choose. I happen to be a big fan of brown, if you didn't notice. Brown and mustard and rust, which are pretty much all these colors here. So I'm going to continue around the whole top part here of this cowl, putting 1 single crochet in every stitch. And then I'll meet back up with you when I make it back to my starting point. Alright, I've made it back to my starting point with my single crochet. Now, since we started with a chain of 80, you should have 80 stitches here. Just go ahead and end by slip stitching into your first single crochet. As long as you have somewhere around that number, I think that'll be good enough. And then we're going to go ahead and hide this tail. And then we'll be finished. You can add fringe at the bottom. That would be cool. I don't know. I might do that. Maybe not. But yeah, you put it on and then it kind of scrunches up. It's a nice statement piece. All right, once you're done, that's it. It goes on. Using the picture, got your back part, and then this part kind of just hangs in the front like a big statement piece. It's like that. Now remember, I will, as I mentioned, my hat, I use the leftover yarn on my Addy knitting machine because I don't know how to knit. But I do have a crochet hat that is made strictly that will match this cowl. So it's super easy. I hope you guys enjoyed my tutorial. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and don't forget to check me out on Instagram if you make this or anything else. Anything at all. Anything yarn related at all. I like to see it. I also like to look at other people's plants because I'm a, back in the day I was a landscape designer. So I still enjoy looking at people's plants. So you can always hashtag me and anything you think I might like. Hashtag Bagoday Crochet on Instagram. Thanks everybody for watching. Have a good day.